Hello, Killer Bunnies. This is a very exciting day. This project has been in the planning phases for 5 to 10 years, especially the last 5 years. Uh, what we have here is a fully automated, fully functional desktop application for Killer Bunnies and the Quest for the Magic Carrot, implemented fully up through the Zeta Zeta starter set. I know we have the Ada starter set coming out very soon, which we are all very excited about. I know I'm buying a copy, even though I already have the Zeta full set, of course, but it looks like they had enough very exciting changes in terms of like quality of life things. So that's exciting. We'll add Ada to this when the time comes, but what we have now for now is the Zeta Cannon with the starter set fully implemented with networking capabilities so that you can play with your friends, and a, let's say, primitive CPU player so that you could play single player at least just to try it out. Or perhaps if you have a smaller friend group, maybe you just want to add a few dummy players to just fill the group, right? So we have that. That's very exciting already. This is a very early prototype build of such. It is not yet released to the public anywhere. In fact, I'm the only one with the code in the build to run it now for you as a demo. I just wanted to give you this preview because I was so excited. Jeff, when you're watching this, get in contact with me about what your preferred distribution methods would be. It's as a desktop application that could support Windows, Linux, and Mac OS primarily. One possible way to do so is we could just throw it up on itch.io, relatively soon, and as like an early access build, let's say, and everyone could just download it for free. Maybe we put a simple donation button that probably nobody's going to use, but we could put those donation proceedings to support the development, and maybe even create, and no, not maybe, we would actively support Creative Team Alpha in such a world too, right? Because Jeff deserves his money for the intellectual property, right? If there were any donations, I don't think there would be. When you put a donation button, there tends not to be revenue, right? Another option, which would be the monetization approach, would be to say, hey, let's get this to a level of polish where we'll throw this onto Steam, the popular PC gaming platform, right? And that would be an exciting day. But what, I'll leave it up to Jeff and Creative Team Alpha what their discretion is on whether a free deployment or a monetized deployment is more fitting. I think both answers are entirely reasonable. I wouldn't recommend a mobile port. Quest is a very busy game in terms of UI. The bunny circle itself can get quite large, plus all the save cards and all of that. Very, very busy. Would be terrible on a small screen. Wouldn't recommend it. Be great for Flip the Bird, though. If you want to get in contact with me about that, Jeff. Can't believe we're already talking about other games when today it's about Quest. Let's talk about Quest. All right. This is an early access build. When you do get access to it, hopefully, we have a report button, so you can do any bug reports, which is important, of course. We have the first option here is, hey, the game crashed, a UI element was missing, etc., etc. We have that section. The second section is a mechanical question. Killer Bunnies mechanics are quite complicated. If a mechanic performs differently than you might expect, which is common in many groups because many groups will interpret mechanics different ways, you can submit that here and it can be open to discussion. Ultimately, there does have to be, 1 or 2 right answers for a digital application. Some house rules could be supported in theory if they were popular enough and reasonable enough to implement, but that's what that's there for. And then, of course, a feature request. Maybe you put house rules there too. This is more if you think something is actively wrong versus something I want, right? That's fun. Let's just, essentially for this video, we're just going to play a game, and that's going to be fun. hopefully nothing goes wrong. This is a early access build. It's entirely plausible something could go wrong, right? We can add technically as many players as we want. That's one advantage over Tabletop Simulator, where we're limited to, I think it's 10 players. But the bunny circle is going to get quite full if we have that many players. We do support it. The bunny circle is infinitely expandable. If you want to do something really crazy and play a 20-player game, you know, in the starter set, I think you're going to run out of the draw deck. I think there strictly aren't enough cards, but once we get to the full set, if you want to play like a 100-player game just for fun, just to see what happens, it's going to be a disaster. I'll tell you that. It's going to be an absolute disaster if you tried it. But it'd be hilarious. It'd be an hilarious disaster. For today, for the demo, we'll play with a 4-player game. 3 of them will be our primitive CPU player. It's smart enough to, you know, realize that it needs a bunny to play cards and realize that, hey, I shouldn't attack myself with weapons, with single target weapons. It's not much smart beyond that. I'll say that. So we have those. We have a few house rules that I think were common enough to justify support immediately. So obviously, officially, when you choose a carrot, you get to pick which carrot you want, right? That's a fairly slow process for a lot of players. Many groups generally agree amongst each other to just select a random carrot instead. I wanted to support that house rule right away, so that's what that represents, random carrots. The second one here, which we won't play with today, but it's functional, is prove hidden information. So let me use an example from the starter set for that. Geneva Convention, the special card which forces a player to discard all of the weapon cards in their hand. Some officially, that is, yeah, officially, that is based on the honor system. You were expected not to cheat, right? You were expected to actually physically discard all the weapons and then draw replacement cards. Some groups, that might not be popular to have an honor system ruling, so it's very often the case in a lot of groups that they will elect amongst themselves that, hey, if you play Geneva Convention on me, I will reveal my hand to show that I in fact did discard all of the weapon cards in my hand. That's what this house rule represents, is that if you have that selected, we will actively reveal the hidden information that proves that a card like Geneva Convention was resolved properly. Obviously, in a virtual application that's fully automated, cheating is impossible anyways, right? So you don't really need that. The reason for revealing it is gone, but for those groups that still like that reveal mentality, we support it. So let's start a game. Lots of fun. Lots of things just happened. We drew our opening hands. We have a little bit of a preview of the 4 players here. Whose turn it is. Obviously, the turn order is clockwise right now. We don't have the... I say right now, it's going to stay that way. We don't have the booster that switches the turn order. That's funny that such a thing exists in the full set, but it's there. We have, this is a little bit of a fun preview of the cards in hand versus the cards that are set. Many high-skilled players will try to predict what their opponents are playing based on the colors of the card backs. So that's a real mechanic, right? So that's what we have here, a little elegant preview of such. We have a chat. We can say, hi, Jeff. Jeff Bless, right? So that's fun. We have our hand. Any card that you hover over, you get a little zoomed in view of it. You can also right click for a better detailed screen. This screen information is placeholder. We have the card text that's obviously going to be there. Things like the bunny bits is what we would put in this screen. So if you are unfamiliar with, say, the complex rulings of the Heavenly Halo, right? That's where we would place such information. So that's fun. We have This here tracks what's currently going on in the stop interrupt cannon. Honestly, don't worry about it. Most of the time, you don't need to touch this at all. Where it becomes mechanically relevant is whenever we need to do something unusual. So, for example, in the full set, there are many cards. I shouldn't say many. There aren't many. There are a few cards that resolve specifically in between turns, right? If you were to place a flag on the in-between turns, you basically are saying preemptively, I want to hold priority, and I have a card that I want to play during that time. That's what these flags represent. I want to hold priority. So most of the time you won't have to touch it, but it exists. We have the saved cards. All of the saved specials and cabbage, water, dollar, carrots, all of that, all saved objects will appear on this screen. You can either click the tab or you can press 1 as the hotkey. There's also a button down here. It's a little bit redundant, but it exists. You can sort this by type too, but it's really not that cumbersome in the star set. You just look at the broad group. We have the discard. We saw 1 misfortune was discarded. That means 5 are left in the deck. If you're familiar with the quest count, that's a bit scary. We have the log, which gives a log of what's happened recently. This is equivalent to what was showing up here in these bubble notifications, I call them. And then we have the shop. So that's fine. So we're just going to play quests. I love playing quests. Quest Starter is a really elegant start to Killer Bunnies Quest of what's really elegant in the full set. It's a very different experience, though. If you haven't played Starter in a long time, this might be a bit refreshing, actually. But we're just going to play Quest Starter. I like to save a lot of specials in my opening hand, so I'm very happy to see 3 specials. We also have 2 bunnies. That's great. We have Wheels Freshest Center. That's a very powerful card. And we have a 4-leaf clover. Let's start by doing the bakery and the casino. And we'll go from there. While our opponents are playing cards, we do get a preview. At any point, we can say, hey, I don't know what that card is. We can request priority and we get the chance to read the card. That's valid at any point. This is kind of like in real life, if you're like, hey, I don't know that card, can you read it to me? Right? It's a little bit faster than that, of course. But that's what that represents. Our opponent drew misfortune right away. I told you it was dangerous that only 1 had been drawn. There are now 4 left in the deck. So our opponent played a bunny, drew misfortune. Next opponent played a bunny. We're going to play a special. Let me show you a shortcut here that I have. Spacebar is a hotkey anytime this window is open. So if I press spacebar, I'm going to play the card. It's always going to pick the rightmost button. So in this case, it's save the special. And there we go. We have a save special now. Great. We can use it if we want. We don't have a bunny, so that's probably not the best idea. We could get a bunny in play. I think we'll wait another turn here. Well, let me rethink that. We have a bunny triplet in hand. That's kind of exciting. Let's wait another turn. Let's get the Danish down, and we'll wait and see what our opponents are doing. CPU 4 is a bunny. I'll note that player seeding and player turn order player turn order was randomized equivalent to player seeding, I should say, right? So that's exciting. We elected to do that instead of something like the 212 rule, because obviously in a virtual application, you don't necessarily want to be giving out information like your birthday, right? So, certain changes like that will take place. We have 2 save specials now. That's exciting. Let's play a free agent. We'll see if we can get bunny triplet in play. That'd be kind of exciting. Opponent played free cabbage, got 12. Another bunny. You can see the bunny circle actively expand as players play bunnies. We can rotate it. We can zoom in and out. If we zoom out far enough, it'll kind of give us like an abstract view of it. That's kind of fun. So that's all there. Let's save the prune Danish. It's very nice to have a lot of saved specials. All right, I think our strategy here is to try to get 3 lumberings on the board so that we have our bunny triplet, and we'll see if our opponents react to that. Like I said, they are primitive. Here we have our first weapon resolution. Loose select at level 3. He rolled an 11, so he lives. Another bunny. They each have 2 bunnies now. We will be playing our first here. We can choose the color of the free agents. Let's just go with green lumbering for now. We can change that at any point. So we can go orange lumbering, for example. There we go. Yeah, go for another lumbering. Oh, top run rotate. That kind of ruins our plans. Now we have a bow and arrow instead of a lumbering bunny. Here's the first example of a card that directly targets us. It happens to be the kitchen whisk. How iconic. Whenever we have something target one of you or one of your objects, we deliberately, for now, have you specifically say, hey, I don't have a response, let's resolve this. This is kind of like in real life where you can choose when you're going to roll the die, right? Because your opponent's not going to roll for you. So you can take your time to think about, do I want to play my magic spatula? Do I want to use my defense cards? Any of those things are available to you at this moment. So I wanted to make sure to give the player the choice that to actively say, hey, I don't have a response, let's resolve this card, right? In this case, I rolled a 5. Here we're again saying, hey, I don't have a response, I don't have any rerolls that I want to do. Let's resolve this die result. And therefore, we succeed. Rerolls are somewhat rare in the starter set, but as soon as we add the red booster, that's going to make a whole lot more sense, because you'll have all these reroll opportunities, right? We have a lot of players close to, these 2 are close to a triplet. Let's try attacking this green timid bunny. Higher than 6 is what he needs. A 12, very lucky from him. All right. Ooh, the Ebola virus, that could get exciting. Let's try setting that. The CPU 4 got the Heavenly Halo, very lucky for him. A very well-known card in both the full set and the starter set. That's a bit scary of a weapon. Level 7. We do not have a very special to respond with. We'll just roll it. We rolled a 12. We're very lucky today. Things are going well for the demo. Everyone lives, right? How exciting. You could just imagine if we were playing with friends on like a Discord call and everyone would be cheering for such a exciting roll. Oh, roaches. Okay. Let's get some lucky clovers down. That might be good to have as the Ebola rotates around. Ebola's going to rotate counterclockwise. Ooh, the Geneva Convention. It targeted CPU 2. They had no weapons in hand. Now we have the Stray Asteroid being played right here, which does Bunnies 3 spaces away, which is going to absolutely kill us. And we have no response. Such a shame. Now, in real life, you might elect to just kill the bunnies and just not roll the dice. Mechanically speaking, there are reasons why you would want to roll the dice. Some cards in the full set interact with actual dice rolls, both in terms of manipulating the dice rolls and in terms of reacting to the results of those dice rolls. So it is mechanically accurate that we are rolling the dice here, even though we already knew the results. None of these bunnies were going to roll higher than 12. And this has, of course, ruined our plans to do the Ebola virus. In an actual human player game, we might say, hey, let's trade, I need a bunny. The CPU players won't trade, they're very primitive. But in this case, we'll just discard that because we don't have a bunny. Very sad. There's a bunny. Do we want to play him? That's a good question. if we play him, we could potentially get a poverty poker off and try to steal the halo. I think that's my strategy right now. He gets to choose 2 carrots. There are 4 carrots gone, and we have none of them. This game isn't going great for us. These primitive CPUs are outplaying us. I feel ashamed as one of the top Killer Bunnies players in the world, right? Here, have these clovers, Mr. Halo. That's going to be very useful to you. What are we going to play? We're going to try and play poverty poker. We'll see if we get punished. There's still 4 misfortunes on the deck, so we're probably going to get screwed here. We're going to play our bunny and we're going to draw misfortune right away. I just know it. Ooh, fountain. Fountain misses. He was looking for a 6 is what he decided. Alright. We'll try it. Bunny in the bunny circle. Don't draw misfortune. Okay, we're safe for now. We don't have any protection, unfortunately. Is the market open? The market is open. We could decide to buy cabbage and water. The reason why we would decide to do so is if we were afraid of casino or a bakery, because both of those are free to immediate situations. We have both casinos and we have 1 bakery, so there's only 1 bakery left in the deck. I'm not too worried. Let's save our money. In case we fail poker. Ooh, that's dangerous. Okay. Okay, we live. In case we fail poker, I'm going to set special in case we don't have a bunny, because we intend to gamble for bunnies. Or maybe we don't, because he has a second one now. So it's not as good. We'll see what happens. I haven't decided what we're doing strategically here yet with this poker, but we do get to try to resolve it. That's exciting. So poker is a complex card where we decide what our stakes are. As we decide, we see what players are going to be included. So let's just try maximum stakes here, and we will gamble with CPU 4. So it'll be 1 versus 1, 1 bunny, $10, because that's all that I have available to gamble. We'll try it. And we got it! Okay, as the player, we did have a reroll. We don't need it. We got 6 versus 4. We'll keep that. He gives us one of his bunnies. He's given us the gleeful bunny. That's smart of him. I don't know if our CPU was actually smart enough to do that or if that was random. It might be smart enough. And $10. Now we have 20. That turned out very well for us. I would have much preferred to get the Halo bunny, of course, but he happened to get a second bunny before we resolved that, so that was fortunate for him. We have a second casino coming. We have Wheels Special Center we could consider. CPU 2 is staying at no money right now. Seems like a decent option, or we could save it for later. Let's try it now. There was the other baker. We would have been in danger. Look at that. Alright, supply surprise, yellow was the lowest, so that'll be 10. Again, as a reminder, if you don't know what a card does, you can request priority to give yourself a chance to read it. I'm very familiar with all the cards in Quest, really, but especially with the starter set, so I am not taking the time to read these cards, but if you were playing, you could, right? We've enabled that. We're going to save our special. In terms of save specials, there's 1 Baker and 1 Prune Danish from our opponents, and we have quite a bit, so that feels pretty good. Is Geneva Convention been used yet? It has. Okay. I was thinking about all the weapons in our hand strategically. Let's try to set Gorge the Bunny and see if we can resolve that. CPU 4 wrongly thought that he had a bunny, but then realized that the Halo didn't count. That was kind of a AI mistake than a mechanical mistake. We got the Sea-Wiz mount. He had 1 clover, so he needed higher than 9. He got it. Higher than 9, higher than 9. Got it on all 3. That's extremely lucky. That player right there is Jeff Blessed, apparently. And then a misfortune. Alright. CPU 2 has saved the Minolith. That is somewhat terrifying. Alright. How many bunnies do they have? They have 2 bunnies in play. Here we have Wheels Fresh's Center. CPU 2 is at 3 carats, no money. We're going to target him. He will lose all of his carats because he can't pay for them. That's great. Gives us more time to catch up in this game because we still have no carats. We could buy some. Wouldn't be the worst idea. Now that Wheels Fresh's Center is gone, I feel like buying a couple carats might be in our interest. We got Tucker and Presto. Flow is still up for grabs. Alright. Let's leave the market. Let's set a fade. Nuclear Warhead is discarded because he had only Halo. He has made the market prices low. Green Gelatin with the Minolith resolved is a 4/4/4. There you see a Minolith resolution. That's exciting to see. A 6 is higher than 4. That is safe. A 3 is not. That was our opponent. And a 2 is not. That was ours. Alright. One of our bunnies has survived such an attack at least. Minolith is a very scary card when you see it resolve. I think I'm going to attack that opponent with my Gorge the Bunny here. They have the 10 water, but they do not have the 10 cabbage. And hopefully we can starve their bunny so that the Minolith will go away. Unfortunately, we've drawn one of the misfortunes left in the deck, so now we have no bunnies. That's a shame. Oh, Rock Bottom would be good to resolve because we don't have any foods, and right now there are some bigger foods out there. That could get exciting, but we need a bunny. We do not have a bunny right now. He doubled his money. If you look here, we actually do have proper resolution of voucher math. So we do have the vouchers represented here, and they will actively replace themselves if mechanically correct to do so. Oh, the bunny died anyways from an ice pick. That was exciting. So the Minolith should be gone. That is correct. If we look in the discard, there it is. But what I was saying is, as you might know, vouchers are meant to be swapped with the real cards as soon as they become available in the discard. That is fully implemented here. It's often not mechanically relevant, especially with Dala, but in the starter set it is, because it's entirely plausible with only 51 cards left in the deck in this example that we will have a reshuffle, which is also fully implemented, of course. There's a bunny. Okay. Here we go. Back in the game, right? Laser gun is discarded. You didn't see a reason to bother attacking the haloed bunny. That is fine. We're discarding that because we don't have a bunny. Bunny block bid, but we have no money. Unfortunately, we spent it all. Otherwise, that would have been very exciting. If we draw some, that could get really exciting. We will get a resurrection here from the 6. This was CPU 4, so he'll get a bunny. What does he choose? He chooses this bunny. Market at high prices. Have we seen a market close yet? No, they're both still in the deck. It's a bit scary. Alright, another bunny. And another bunny. That could be good. Unfortunately, that's the food processor. Level 4. Let's see if we're lucky. Unlucky. Such a shame we won't get to resolve Rock Bottom. That would have been pretty decent here. Would have been +6 cabbage, +5 water. Could have been exciting. Black cat. Alright, such a shame. Alright, we do have another buddy coming. We don't have the money yet. We could get money. It's plausible. It's risky though, because we didn't get the food. If we had gotten the food, the casinos would be much safer, but we did not get it. I think we'll try Taurus Ring. Flamethrower. He's lucky. Apologies for the notification sounds. We're very professional here. Alright, Bunny. Let me just close that other application and we can get rid of it. Go away. Okay, there we go. Free agent. Let's make it blue sinister for now. It doesn't really matter. We haven't closed the market. That's interesting. Do we want the market to be closed? We might. Do we want it to be closed now? No, not. We're not urgent about it. Ooh, that's a feed. We don't have an immediate response, but we do have the Danish on our turn, so that's fine. 2 carrots from him. Only 3 carrots left in the deck. That's very close to the end game here. We're feeling a little bit scared. Let's try attacking this bunny. We do get that one. Alright. And we do draw some money. Not much though. Not enough for the bid to go anywhere. Let's try a feed. Oh shoot! Oh no! I ended my turn. I ended my turn and now it's too late to use my Danish. That's mechanically accurate. Oops. What a shame. I meant to use the Danish. The market's closed anyways. It would have still been valid for us to purchase cabbage and water there for reference. But the prune Danish is special speed. That would not have been valid. Which is a shame, because now we don't have a bunny and we really should have. Okay, we got one back. Good. It's important to remember what cards you have. It's almost easier to check what you have here than in real life. Because you're just one button away, right? But I had forgotten. That's what happens when you're recording a demo. You forget these things. Ooh, okay. The bunny circle's getting really dramatic all of a sudden. CPU 2 is pretty secure. CPU 4 has the halo, but this bunny's about to starve, perhaps, unless they have the food. They might use it. I think the AI might use the food. I'm not actually sure. We're going to find out. It might be too primitive for that, which is okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. It looks like it's too primitive, maybe. Yeah, it's too primitive. It'll use the Danish. It doesn't like using the food even though it buys it. Isn't that funny? I might fix that. Might not. It really doesn't matter that much what the AI does, because you are meant to play with your friends. That's the ultimate Killer Bunnies experience, right? Okay. It would be very exciting here if we could resolve Defector on the Halo. That is our goal right now. Our other goal is to live. We are in danger with only 1 bunny and 2 carrots left in the deck. The market is closed. We probably should have considered resolving some of our specials here. I think we will in this turn. Alright. Let's try to resolve the Defector first. We rolled a 1. Such a shame. And CPU 4 rolled a 12. Really lucky for him. We had our reroll. Didn't do anything. Alright, that's a failure. Didn't even move. Alright, let's try to resolve some specials. The market is closed, so that's a good time to use things like the Baker. Let's use that here. If it rolls a 1, we need to be safe. If it rolls a 3, that's a kill. Alright, that's 1 down. Let's use the casino here. That gives him money, but will not give him the care because the market is closed. Let's use another casino here. I'm just trying to increase my own odds of survival here. That's a kill. Good. Okay. So CPU 4 is the only player we're worried about. We almost have more money than him. That would be exciting if we did. CPU 3 with 4 carats does not have a bunny, but it's close. What do we want to play here? Let's just set a clover, I think. Alright, another bunny. How many misfortunes are in the deck? Are they all gone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, there's still one in the deck. Shoots. That's really scary. I think we almost don't want to play a card. It's a 50-50 chance of drawing misfortune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is. No, I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. Okay, no, we're safe. Let's eliminate CPU 3. Because we still have an opportunity to steal his carrots, potentially. 5 is not enough. That's good. If we draw some money here, that would be very exciting. It's an Area 51. I would love to play that. I feel very scared about my endgame chances right now. Abducting that bunny would secure a lot. We are seeing a reshuffle here. Could be exciting. All of his fortunes again shuffled back in. That's somewhat terrifying. Alright, we will resolve the clovers. There are 6 misfortunes in the deck. This is very scary. Please don't draw one. We drew money. Okay, that's very good. We could elect to spend our money here and end the game. Let's... Oh no, the shop is closed. Never mind. Okay. With the closed shop... That's tricky. We have to hope to live a turn. Okay, CPU 4 is not in the game. The game's over. Hooray! Okay. Everyone gets a final chance for response. At very special speed. We have the dramatic reveal. Oh, we're close. We won! With only 2 carats. Carrot number 7 is the winner. Thanks for everyone for watching. I hope everyone is excited about this application being released somewhat soon. As you can tell, it's in a fairly polished state, fairly functional state. We didn't run into any major issues, so that's great. So yeah, that's fun. And it's always Jeff Plus.